We're soon going to find out if we're live streaming. And if so, it's going to pop up on my screen and it's probably going to blast us out. It'll be very loud. It's really slow today. Here we go. We're going to find out. And I'm going to hit mute really, really quickly. So, hello, those of you
We're
who are
streaming, dude.
soon going to find out if we're
Steve.
live streaming. Always happens. There we go. But now we are under control. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is titled Epic Cash Private Resilience by Default. And that's going to be self-evident as we go through today because Epic Cash is private and damn oh damn, it's resilient AF. I think everybody on here will agree. So, hey, look, the agenda for today's live stream. I'm going to introduce 3 Epic Cash community guests. I'm going to share a personal story that is going to introduce some other things, and we're going to talk a little bit about resilience. And we're going to announce a new exciting crypto exchange listing. We're super excited about this. Hey, everyone in the chat, greetings, welcome. And we're going to provide insight into TradingView. We'll also riff on much, much more, including epiccash.com, Epic Mine Pool, whattomine.com, Cryptwerk, grassroots root marketing initiatives, Now Deals use case for Epic Cash, and of course, a PSA or 2 related to VTEX and otherwise. So first, the introductions. You see right now, you see Gene, also known as Yoga Dude on Telegram, t.me/Epic Cash. If you're watching this and you aren't a member of the Epic Cash community, then just go ahead and watch something else at this point in time. Then I also have Enrique, which is also known as L. McMurphy on Telegram. And then the person you cannot see because he is hunting bear while fishing for salmon in Alaska. We have Izzy, who is also known as Islo within Telegram. And these 4 gentlemen are critical community members, have been forever within Epic Cash. And we just have a nice update today. And I am Todd Pittner, also known as Uncle Vigilante, Uncle V. And like I've always said, I unapologetically cover Epic Cash. And we have lots to cover today. So I told you I was going to tell you a story. Okay. This was about a year ago, okay? Little over a year ago. And my best friend in life, Mike Puccinelli, he's an Epic Cash community member as well, reached out to me, and it was before Christmas of last year. And he's like, hey, Toddy, you need a Blackstone grill. Now we're talking on a cell phone, okay? You need a Blackstone grill. Let me send you some links. And he had gotten a Blackstone grill, and he knows I like to grill and all of this stuff. And we have that relationship. He's just telling me what I need, and he's going to send me some links. So we talked about it over the phone, and he sent me links. And lo and behold, everyone, now I'm going to tell you this story, which you will personally finish in your own mind because you can relate to it, because this happens to every single freaking one of us. And I'm telling you, we had a phone call and he sent me some links. Everywhere I go online now, I get pop-ups for things related to a Blackstone grill. I have seen every accessory for a Blackstone grill under the moon. Because why? I had a private conversation with my best friend. So at that point in time, this is a little over a year ago. At that point in time, it just started eating at me. And this is a story about the genesis of a startup that is called Now Deals, nowdeals.com. I really, really wish in life that I can have private conversations and private email exchanges and not have my data hoard out to everybody out there. Are you with me? Are you finishing the story with me? I think you are. So that's where we are right now. So what I'm going to do right now is let you know that what started with that over a year ago has resulted in months and months and months of me first talking to one person, another person. All of a sudden, it became four people. And we're like, could there be a solution out there where we could privately engage in commerce, where our data is not hoarded out by the merchants? Could there be a way? I don't know. Didn't know. But then conversations led to, as you see these gentlemen on the phone, I see them every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. That is our weekly Now Deals uh, 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 church. Sunday morning church for us is we go to Now Deals Zoom call. And we have literally been working on a value proposition that would allow, this is a big, hairy goal, guys, that would allow us all to engage in commerce privately, if we so wish, that would be dedicated to private exchanges of value. So, what I'm going to show you here is just the first 7 pages. And as these gentlemen know, it's a lot more than 7 pages, but we are in the process of a private equity raise that is going to happen. It is going to operationalize what you're going to see here, just the first 7, so that you can see what the problem is and our dedication to what problem meets solution. So let me go to my share, if you will. And believe you me, if you're an Epic Cash holder, you are going to be motivated to pay attention right now. All right, I'm hitting share, and we are going to go to right here. Gene, Enrique, can you see that? Is that popping up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is Now Deals, e-commerce privacy done right. And again, I'm going to blow through this because we aren't asking you for $10 million. We're asking some other folks for $10 million. All right. So today, buying goods and services privately is just absolutely impossible. I'm not going to go through all of this necessarily, but the old way, back in the day, guys, when we were younger, consumer would go to a store, you'd make a cash payment, and the purchase would be complete, right? No personally identifiable information is shared. The new way, this is our operating reality today, where huge amounts of data is leaked and collected and shared and hoarded out, is the consumer gets on their device, their browser, ISP, they go to a search engine or a refer site, go to the e-commerce website, they sign in with their user account, guest information, payment information, they go to a payment gateway, they then have a bank payment processor, and then there's fulfillment and shipment. And all along the way, data brokers, they start knowing more about you than you do. That is their business. It is a I don't know, Gene, $1 trillion business, data brokerage, who knows? All right. Consumers and regulators really do care about privacy. 71% of the people worry about how tech companies collect and use their data. I know every one of you watching right now are one of those 71%. Now, regulators are starting to catch up and crack down on law-breaking platforms that did any of you guys ever download the Temu app on your mobile phone because you were intrigued by it? I did, and I will tell you what has happened. It takes over everything on every search. I don't care. I mean, you can go to a website that doesn't engage with Temu, but by gosh, Temu ads are going to pop up there. So what do? Well, smart people like us, we just take that app off our phone. No, you don't. They have so many back doors into your phone, you have no idea. And so they are like sorry for the language, but they're like an unflushable turd, man. They just never go away. These are people like uh, AliExpress, Shine, Temu. So in June of 24, the Arkansas AG sued Temu for collecting personal data without consent. That's what we're talking about, everyone. But here's the kicker. Everyone is addicted to cheap retail, aren't we? So solving part of this problem has created huge value. The new way, online purchase, consumer goes to the device, search engine, we talked about all of that, right? Well, this value that's created, VPNs can solve for your personal device and trying to keep that private. That's a $1.5 billion market. And then you have DuckDuckGo, which that can help keep you private. That's a $500 million market. And then you go over here, fulfillment and shipping, $6.9 billion market in post in Europe. They have delivery lockers that solve for this. But what about this giant white space here? There is no solution as of yet. But sports fans, Now Deals solves for this. Okay? So, Now Deal's key components. Now Deal's e-commerce storefronts we're going to have where vendors can sell, consumers can buy. We have a white label privacy framework for existing players like Temu and PDD to where they can hit Control Alt Delete with their relationships with us to where they are going to agree that they are not going to harvest private information. There aren't going to be any brokers involved that are going to whore out your info. Epic Cash integration. That's what I want to talk about today. A groundbreaking privacy focused payments crypto. See, everyone, I don't know if you're a God person or not. I am. I know Enrique is. God always answers our prayers. It's either yes, no, or not now. And Epic Cash, we've all been there. If you've been watching me for lots of years, we had our ups and we had kind of recently our desert, right? But does that mean Epic Cash is not what it's always been, which is this amazing cryptocurrency allowing us to exchange value privately by default? Private resilience by default. That's what I've named this live stream. We are a resilient bunch here at Epic Cash. And while everybody has been, hangdog on the price of Epic going down or whatever, there's been a contingent of people like the Now Deals team who have been working on solutions and use cases and have been improving our technology. Epic Cash is freaking awesome, everyone. I'm telling you. If you're watching this right now, you likely are a holder of Epic Cash at reasonable numbers. I'm not Todd, but I will tell you, man, Epic Cash is the solution. Epic Cash is the solution to private commerce. Mimblewimble, thank you. Thank you for not having any data on the blockchain when we exchange value. Now, we're not going to get into the deals token, which is really, really cool, but it's value mirroring social engagement. This is about the greater vision of Now Deals. But this page, I'll stop here. How Epic delivers private transactions, just to give you a peek at the future. Consumer will go to our platform where we're going to think about an Amazon that's nowdeals.com that has all kinds of vendors that are selling goods and services. You can bring any value to the table, be it if you want to pay with credit card or you want to be able to use BTC or Monero or Epic Cash. Part of the use of funds is we are going to have the world's leading privacy wallet called a Now Deals wallet to where you can exchange whatever into what? It's going to be into Epic Cash. Epic Cash is then going to be what's used. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me go up. Epic Cash is going to be used then to transact because it's impossible to trace or tie to an identity. So you're going to be able to go on the platform. Imagine being able to go on Amazon and being everything you're buying. There's nobody spying on you, and you are not when you pay, there is no trace of your transaction. It's like the old way where we would go into a store and we would pay cash. There's no there's no history of that transaction, right? Does that mean you're doing something nefarious, Enrique, when you go in and pay by cash? No or no?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so we're just going back to the future, everybody. And this is the page I just wanted everyone to see. Now we're going to have an e-commerce engine that's very powerful. We're going to be white labeling for companies like Temu. But then here's the off-ramp. Our Now Deals wallet for the merchants. They're going to be able to off-ramp to the vendor in whatever currency they want. If they want it in BTC, if they want it in Epic Cash, if they want it in fiat, we'll do that for them. But it's this giant area here to where and believe me, the rest of the deck unpacks this of the value of what we're talking about here. But that is what I wanted to be able to excuse me, guys. I need to hit stop share here. All right, and we stop sharing. So that's what I wanted everybody to be able to see that we've been working on. So while other people are, worrying about, really minutia details about things that might not be going perfectly right, just know there are a lot of people I'm going to evoke that oar in the water who've had their oar in the water for a long, long time. So with that, Enrique, I would like to transition into a really great announcement. But before we do, I want you to share everybody a little bit about Trade Ogre first, just what that is and what that's a milestone. And then if you wouldn't mind, I'd like you to get into everything else that you're here to talk about, CoinEx, etc.
Sure. Okay, well, as everyone knows, or as most people know, we were listed on Trade Ogre recently. Thanks to Yoga and his efforts. Maybe he can explain a little later, how that process came to be. But it's a great exchange, and I think it couldn't have come at a better moment, given what's happening with Vite. So it's perfect, and the trading volume has been solid there. So I think it's going to be one of our key long-term partners and a very valuable relationship. So thanks to the community, to Yoga, and to everyone else who, was involved in that process. It's perfect. So now the other thing is CoinEx. That's the upcoming listing. Now we have not finalized everything, as there's still, some final details, some tests we still need to run, but it is a listing that is upcoming and that we hope to get done in the next few days, if everything goes as planned. So how we got in touch with CoinEx, last year I had been contacting, multiple exchanges, and CoinEx happened to be one that stood out, from the rest. And there are four main reasons as to why we, started talking about CoinEx in the community and why people got interested. So I'll just go through these four key elements that I think will make this listing great for the project, great for visibility, increased adoption, and then obviously for our price. I think it will be very positive. So the first element here is what we get with the listing. Okay, one of the things we get is visibility on TradingView. For those of you who don't know, TradingView is a website where you can go to check prices and basically look at all the technical analysis you want for pretty much any asset in the world, including cryptocurrencies. So, all the traders, all the investors that like to look at TA, they go to TradingView. You know, if it's there, then you get greater visibility, as they have tens of millions of users visit their website on a monthly basis. Another thing that's important is the marketing support that CoinEx will offer, particularly a learn to earn program, which involves the following. The users of CoinEx log in if they want to earn, for example, 4 Epic. You know, we establish that amount, or whatever amount we think is appropriate, but 4 seems like a good amount, where a user can log in, they read about Epic, then they answer some questions or complete some challenges, and then they get the 4 Epic. So that way, we get Epic into the hands of thousands of users. If it's set at 4 Epic per user, then we'd be talking approximately 5,000 holders, 5,000 new holders. Now, they would learn about Epic. What they do with the coin afterwards, that's up to them, but at least we get visibility for the people who sign up for the program. So that's something that can take weeks or months to complete, and we work with CoinEx and we decide what the content will be so that it's easily digestible for their users. And so another thing is the automated market making. So a portion of the listing fee, which they call it a marketing fee, would go to the learn to earn campaign, which would be about 2/3 of the total 30,000. And then the remaining 10,000 would go for the automated market maker and for either a trading competition or an AMA. So that's another benefit. Basically, for the AMA works by creating a pool of funds that traders can access without actually having to, match their buy order with someone who's selling. So it provides like a smoother trading experience for the users, for the people who want to trade Epic. And that also helps with the trading competition if we were to do that. The next key element, which I think is the most important about this whole listing, is where the user base of CoinEx comes from, like where they live. They've typically been strong in Latin America, Asia, and Europe. But right now it's mostly Latin America and Asia. However, according to their latest information that they shared, the 2 strongest places right now are the Middle East and Brazil. And in the Middle East, it's particularly the UAE and Saudi Arabia. And in the last few weeks, I've been doing some research about the crypto market globally, adoption rates, and all that, social media usage. And I'll share these documents with the community after the live, but I did find some very interesting conclusions here. For example, so remember, Middle East is their strongest area right now. So the UAE has a population of about 11 million people, and the crypto adoption rate, meaning the percentage of people that own cryptocurrency or use cryptocurrency regularly, is at 25.3% as of the end of 2024. So you're talking about...
Enrique, is the UAE, just so we all know, is that Dubai? Is Dubai in?
The
Dubai is part of
UAE
it.
is the
Abu Dhabi is part of it. Yeah.
country, and it's made up of 7 emirates.
Okay.
Dubai is one of them. Abu Dhabi is the other one. Those are the 2 main ones.
Okay.
So you could assume that most of the activity coming from the UAE comes from Abu Dhabi and Dubai, because the other ones are smaller, and those 2 are where the big money and the luxury is. So that's where the purchasing power comes from.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're talking basically about 2.6, 2.7 million people owning crypto. Now that's a small number of crypto owners when you compare it to other countries like the US and other larger populations. But the fact that it has a high crypto adoption rate, to me, indicates that the rate of turnover is much higher, because people are already used to it, So it'll be easier to get people to buy Epic in the UAE than it would be perhaps to, in another country that has a lower adoption rate. And the other one, Saudi Arabia. If we look at Saudi Arabia, we'll see that it has a larger population and it has a crypto adoption rate of 15%, about 5 million owners in total of crypto. So you have that high adoption rate and a higher population. So I think those two countries are key, and that is what's hottest right now in CoinEx. And another one they mentioned was Brazil. And as you know, Brazil has a population of over 200 million. Their crypto ownership rate is 17.5. So we're talking that about 37 million people own crypto in Brazil. And so that's important. All of this data that I'm giving you will also help the community maybe focus certain marketing initiatives, grassroots initiatives or other types of marketing, and use perhaps the channels that are the social media channels that are most popular in those countries, which I'll also share a report on. So it's interesting that those, two places are what's, driving a lot of the usage right now on CoinEx, plus other Latin America and Asian countries, Venezuela, Argentina. Both of these countries, like the ones I mentioned before, they have, pretty low inflation rates. However, with these other ones, Argentina and Venezuela, which are also form a strong portion of the CoinEx user base, you have not only high adoption rates in those countries, well over 10%, but you also have inflation. I think in Argentina, it's over 100%. In Venezuela, I think it was 45%. Yes, in Argentina it was 166%. And, those are countries that struggle with a lot of political instability. So naturally, those are places where people are looking for reliable stores of value like Epic. And if, we get on an exchange, which is a mid-tier exchange, and obviously there's a bunch of them. We've listed in the past with other exchanges, and some of those experiences have not been good. But I feel like we need to keep finding, a good partner because these exchanges will be stepping stones so we can list on bigger exchanges. And, we need that visibility. And so I think CoinEx is a good option. And the other region, which is Asia, also has one of the highest adoption rates. You have Singapore, Vietnam, all those countries have exceptionally high adoption rates. Just under, I think Singapore has over 20%, Vietnam 19%, and you've got all these other countries, Turkey. So these regions are key for us. I know that in the past there were community efforts to do translations and kind of get ambassadors in those regions. I think that was effective, but it was discontinued over time because it's not an easy endeavor. But I think if we focus our marketing efforts around this listing, perhaps on a few countries, we might get some good traction. And so that's one of the main reasons why I feel that the CoinEx listing is good for us, because of the user base, where they live, and they will have access to Epic. And not only that, CoinEx is also a lot of their user base is in favor of coins that use a proof of work consensus mechanism, and a lot of privacy coins, because they have listed Zeno, XMR, Zcash. I don't remember the other ones, but they do have like at least a handful of privacy coins, and their user base likes that. So these are key points as to why this listing to me is a good idea, and I think that the community will.
Question for you. So where are we now in the listing process? I know that we're really close, I believe, right?
Yes. Well, right now we need to finalize some testing and make sure. They've been integrating for a couple of months now, doing all the work. They say it's ready. Now we just need to confirm and do some deposits and withdrawals like a normal user would.
Is it going to be deposit like it is on TradeOgre?
Excuse me?
Or is it going to be like how we now deposit or withdraw on TradeOgre with the files? Or are they going to be able to use Epic Box?
There's an ambulance somewhere up there. No, yeah, it will be able to be used via Epic Box. So you'll be able to send from your Epic Pay wallet to your account there and withdraw. Yeah. And yeah, of course, that's huge.
That's amazing. Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Well, and you had mentioned that part of the exchange is getting listed on TradingView. Izzy, can you
Correct.
come off mute if possible? Because I know you
Yeah,
have.
sure. What's up?
All right. I'm just going to show, it's not much to show, but I'm showing tradingview.com. Can you educate us a little bit on what TradingView is and why it might be important to Epic Cash with our listing, please?
Every YouTuber or social media platform influencer I've ever seen that uses technical analysis charts uses TradingView. There's some other ones out there as well that are really good, but TradingView has like their own specialized code that you can do back testing of investing strategies and a huge community of support. So I don't know. I wish I had the Enrique metrics level of understanding of all the statistics, but it's huge. Like it's just and so the matter of getting on CoinEx, which has visibility on TradingView, that's just a big connecting point that I think Enrique already pointed out. But yeah, like anybody that's in crypto or for a number of years, they know TradingView as a matter of understanding near-term and long-term trading trends and technical analysis. It's really helpful you can look at it like guerrilla marketing, like low key. This is another way people are going to put eyeballs on Epic Cash. So it's a big deal to have TradingView visibility. I'm super excited to see that
And
happen finally.
I love this header, charts that move markets. And I know this. It's like when I go back and I think about the YouTubers that I was following, they were always doing their Fibonacci charts and curves and teacups and everything. I presume pulling up TradingView, right? Showing off TradingView.
Absolutely.
And so
Yes,
they were assessing the charts and they move markets, because when you have people talking about your asset and giving these, Todd Radamas type predictions, people acquire or otherwise, right? So this is very cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been just kind of back channeling, talking about, it's great getting on CoinEx, but all I care about is TradingView. The fact that we are now on TradingView, that is.
We're not yet. Hold on. Getting on CoinEx would potentially get us on TradingView.
Oh, I thought it was an
again,
auto.
this is a process. So
Okay.
Yeah, it would take a few days for them to, do everything with the TradingView API. But they didn't give me a time frame, but I said if 3-5 days was safe, they said yeah. So
Okay,
it wouldn't be upon listing right away, but
I got it.
it comes
Okay,
in the
so
next few
that's
days.
cool. That's cool, but it doesn't mean that now, hey, we're on CoinEx, so now we have to go to TradingView and go through the same sales process and all of that.
They do it. They manage it.
It's not if, it's when we're on TradingView. It's just not going to happen like at the same time. It's not going to coincide. Okay, so that's very, very encouraging. So, man, that's fantastic. Izzy, while we have you on, I don't know anything about Cryptwerk, Cryptwerk. The only twerking I know is I saw him we're on a boat one time and he kind of got his twerk on, and caused a lot of accidents. But tell us about Cryptwerk.
Yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate name, I agree. But at the same time, every time I search for a crypto, like insert crypto name here and like where to spend after that. So if I say Epic Cash, where to spend, or where to spend Epic Cash, the first thing that comes up is CoinGecko, which isn't really a nice stepping off point to like step into the e-commerce world. And in reality, we're still making those connections, right? So once Change Now comes online, like that, it'll make a lot more sense for something like Cryptwerk. But just to say what Cryptwerk is, it's a market. It's like you can look at it much in the way like you look at CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko as a listing of cryptocurrencies. Cryptwerk is a listing of cryptocurrencies and where you can spend those cryptocurrencies, where you can use those cryptocurrencies. Sure, it's a listing service. and you know, in the interest of search engine optimization kind of things, you want to be able to access information very quickly so you can make connections to those online vendors faster, right? So that's what ideally, that's potentially what Cryptwerk could get us. It's relatively low fee, you know, to get listed, to get on board with them and integrated, and then there's so far we've been talking to them. There's no ongoing cost after it's listed, but you know, like anything, it's a relationship to learn about and to grow and nurture. So we're still kind of learning about it. So much in the way Yoga Dude just, you know, cited caution with CoinEx that, you know, we're not fully integrated. Like we haven't even, like we're a lot more integrated with CoinEx than we are with Cryptwerk, and we're still kind of exploring that potential relationship to, you know, make Epic Cash more visible and more connected to e-commerce.
I love this. I mean, this just is a great indicator, a pointer that there are people and there are merchants who care about being able to exchange value with crypto, and then we just want to add the privacy aspect of it too.
One thing I want to add there, Uncle and Islo, is about how, you know, as a community, there are people in the community that have businesses that are, you know, freelancers that have their own operations. So compiling a list of businesses from people within the community that would be willing to accept Epic, you know, is a step we need to take, because that way, you know, we already get actual businesses that would accept Epic for their services. So that could be a good starting point to, you know, grow our presence on that, on Cryptwerk.
This is fantastic. Okay, excellent. Gentlemen, thank you for sharing that. Let me see here. Okay, Gene, Yoga Dude, would you mind unpacking? You've got lots of items on your agenda, but Epic Mine Pool, what to mine?
Trade Ogre listing.
Trade Ogre listing,
Well,
text update.
yeah, Trade Ogre, Uncle, you and I talked about when we launched, you know, so you already have an amazing video.
Yeah,
on
that's
that
right.
one.
That's right.
The short of it is that was probably one of the longest sales cycles to get in. We've been knocking on their door for like 3+ years.
Yeah.
But once they actually engaged, and you know, I think they engaged with us in large part because of all of our community has been knocking on their door, and they finally heard us. And then once they engaged, it was a
lightning.
It was a sprint. It was amazing. You know, it was technical questions like, okay, how do we, you know, what do we start to do? In fact, it was actually already a question. It was already a technical question about integration. So when they reached back to me, they already reached out to me with a technical question that showed that they were already integrating us, okay? And then like 2 weeks was the actual integration, about a 1 week of just, you know, testing back and forth. And then boom, we were live. And, you know, and these guys, you know, they've been amazing so far. They use file transfer method, which is the most secure, but it's not the most user-friendly. So this is the trade-off. You know, you can't use your mobile wallet. You have to use your desktop wallet, or if you're really hardcore old school, you can use CLI. Shout out to James, wherever he may be. You know, so it works. You know, the solution is for, you know, for onboarding and offboarding Epic, you know, from Trade Ogre is rock solid, and it is absolutely fail-safe because of
and I will tell you, everybody, I was like so nervous about doing this file transfer thing, but let's see, Sky King created a document, somebody prettied it up, and I'm telling you, all I did was follow instructions and it worked perfectly. It's not, don't be intimidated by it.
Absolutely.
It's really super easy. Actually, I think easier than acquiring and off-ramping Epic from Vite, right?
Yeah, for different folks, but yeah, a good point. Vite, the thing that made life easier with Vite was the fact that they, you know, incorporated our mobile wallet, you know, address solution.
Right.
But as far as, you know, fail-safe in terms of the transaction will never ever get hung up for any reason, you know, if you're using the file method. You know, it's a send, receive, confirm, and boom, that's it. So that's the thing with Trade Ogre. And again, it's a non-KYC. It works everywhere in the world. takes 5 minutes to set up, and it uses double authentication. So
Yep.
it's crazy slick. It's really simple. Reminds me, like the trading interface reminds me of the original Kraken trading interface before Kraken prettied it up and then jacked up the trading fees. So this is like for serious trader and for casual trader, this is just a total no-brainer, vanilla trading interface. So like them, they're huge in the privacy community. They're huge. They're one of the very top, if not occasionally the top guys for Monero pairs. They're huge with Zano. They're huge with Pirate Chain. They've been originally very close with the Litecoin community, and on and on and on. So again, so far it's been just awesome. CoinEx, we're just to kind of echo where we are on this. We just want a more granular response from them, more of a committal response on what is it that we get for those learn to earn, and then AMA. We have a pretty dim view of AMA based on our past experiences. So we want some assurances and some metrics of how many of their AMA winners dump the coin, how many of them hold, how many of them actually open accounts and buy more coins, things like that. Just standard business questions. We're not looking to. Worst case scenario would be to have those marketing funds be converted into Epic, given out to random people, and then have it dumped, on our opening week, right? So we don't want to see that happen. And then as far as integration, they started with technical questions, which were pretty good. We kind of went back and forth. They seem to have integrated us without a problem. But again, the final stage of this is just doing some back and forth, actual transfers to see what the customer is going to go through, what the consumer experience is. And if there are any weird hangups, any kind of, this is the things that you discover in the final actual, when you're doing transactional test runs, So we need to get, once we get past that.
Can I just ask, I want to just ask, is CoinEx, maybe a stupid question, I should know it, is CoinEx a decentralized exchange or centralized?
No, it's a
centralized.
It's a centralized exchange. It's a KYC exchange. It is geofenced in terms of, like, for example, they don't work in North America. Okay, well, they work in Mexico, but they don't work they don't work in Canada. They don't work in US. Okay,
Canada, US, and UK.
Yeah,
those three countries they don't work with.
With administration change, that may change. But what it does give us, as Enrique, focused in his presentation on, it does give us access to the Middle East. It gives us access to Asia, and it gives us access to Europe besides UK, besides England.
Okay, so will a VPN solve for that, or?
I'm not gonna on video do a lecture on how to bypass.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Okay, there's a maybe, but we have Trade Ogre for the U.S. folks.
Yes, we do. We have Trade Ogre, and again, Trade Ogre is a non-KYC no-brainer. Trade Ogre is a USDT pair only. So with these folks, we're talking about USDT and Bitcoin pairs. Mm-hmm. So for people who want to get more into like Bitcoin,
on trading though.
More alternatives to me. The way I look at this is an incremental alternative. This is just gives you more ways to acquire Epic, puts Epic in front of more users.
TradingView,
what to mine is another one. What to mine is an online mining. It's an online mining calculator that all proof of work guys go to, to just kind of decide what's the next coin to mine, what's profitable, what's hot, and then more granularly they can plug it into their calculator, their configuration and see like how much they can earn. So for the people, it's good for growing and decentralizing your mining user base, which segues me into the next thing that mining, EpicMine.io is back online with us. This is a collective of folks that are running their own mining cooperative. It's pretty visually, it's easy to use. And it gives us more than one mining pool, So a lot of people were always concerned if you only have one mining pool. Well, so if you just have a mining pool, one mining pool, that's a, for some people it's concerned because it's too much centralization. However, with Epic's difficulty, people can still actually mine Epic solo. So they can actually don't have to jump into a mining pool, to earn Epic. You can still pick up blocks on.
Is it this? Is it this? Or did I type it in
No,
wrong?
it's Epic Mine. It's epicmine.io.
Thought I did that.
And just to clear something up, for the what to mine, that is a separate thing from CoinEx.
I'm sorry. I'm just telling you guys, at least on Safari, it redirects to this. That's why so epicmine.io does not.
No, I think it's epicmine. Yes, epicmine.io, correct?
Yeah,
watch this. Epicmine.io, right? And I hit
but you see it's still forwarding in your, this is your quirky browser, dude. I'm gonna send you the link for it in Telegram. Click on that link.
All right.
This is something to do with your cookies, sir.
Okay. Hey, I have always been a few cookies short of
a full
batch. So
let me see here. I'm sending to you in the group. Here we go.
Weird.
Yeah, click.
Wait, can you send it to me personally? Because that'll. I don't have to search. Yeah. Thank you.
And
I guess I don't.
Oof. If I send to you personally, we got all sorts of other personal stuff on that one, so I can't.
No, I'm not going to show that. I'm just going to click on the link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, we won't. We won't. I know you like your Brazilian midget tossing contest, but we're not going to expose that.
Don't knock it until you tried it. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Have you sent it?
There
we go. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So now let's see if my browser redirects again. Nope.
Boom. There you are. Yeah, it's your cookies, man.
Gosh, okay, whatever. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Okay. All right. Here we are, everyone. Looks great.
Yeah, it's clean. They have a great Explorer. They have, pretty user-friendly interface, and and they're literally just launched back. So they've gone through some testing, and having more mining pools is always a good thing because it gives you decentralization. And people are rightfully concerned about, projects that are not decentralized. So this gives us, so right now we have, Epic Mine has a 20% share in, RandomX, 51 Pool has 49% share, and Unknowns have about 30% share. So we don't have anybody with the dominating over, over 50% share.
Okay, that's cool.
And Epic Mine and 51 Pool usually run pretty comparable, so I'm expecting Epic Mine to pick up another maybe 10%.
Yeah. So this is just another indicator to me of the title of this show, Epic Cash Private Resilience by default. The resilience is what just really impresses me about our community. Just everybody is just doing their own thing and really, really well. And I feel like 2025 is just going to be a wonderful monster year for us, just on all kinds of fronts. So that's great. Thank you for that update.
Sure.
Okay, the other thing that I'd like to talk about is, let me get to it, is can one of you talk about epiccash.com and, okay, I have it pulled up, and what's happened again over the last, talking about resilience and everybody doing their own thing really, really well. There's a new look and feel, right, to epiccash.com. Let me go to it. But for those of you who might not have seen this or visited, I really encourage you to go to epiccash.com. Why isn't it sharing? Share. There we go. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now you're sharing.
So when you take a look at this, I have shared this because of Now Deals. I have shared this site with some private equity folks, And I tell you what, the feedback has just been outstanding. Just this is a really impressive site when you go through it and you take a look at the meat, the substance, the educational substance that's within here. And so what's missing? Well, remember the olden subway stops and everything that just kind of confused the matter on everything? That's not here. We're just focused on Epic Cash. You know, scarcity, mineable by anyone, improved security, energy efficient, greener, fair launch, regulatory safety, privacy and fungibility, immutable, governance free. Buy now. So anyway, for all who were involved with this uh, facelift, if you will. And man, I know Massa and you know what? I'm not even gonna name everybody because I'll screw that up. But anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I encourage everyone to go to epiccash.com and bookmark it and start sharing it with other folks. So
One thing I'd like folks to do, and I'll share this link with you, Uncle, and this is something that
sure.
they can find from our site. But here's this is kind of a cool little app, okay, that you can find on epiccash.com.
Okay.
If you go to more and then look at our Explorer and then click on nodes, or you just go to this link, explorer.epiccash.com/nodes-distribution. It's kind of a lengthy URL, okay. But what this gives you is some of the nodes that are running like full copy of our blockchain. And this just shows you just some of the distribution of Epic Cash around the world. This is not all of our miners. This is not all of our users, because some people just use centralized seed nodes. But at the same time, in other words, these are individual systems that are running full copy of the blockchain. This is not like people on their phones. This is not, this is not all the miners, because miners who are mining through mining pools are only showing one location for their
This is so
for
cool.
mining pool. But it actually shows you like just how many people around the world are using Epic Cash to the point where they're actually running a full node.
It's so cool.
It shows distribution in Europe. It shows distribution in Asia. Latin America. We have pretty good strong presence in Latin America. Africa needs some work. We usually have a couple of nodes in South Africa, but they kind of come on and off, and then a couple of nodes in Kenya and a couple of nodes in Nigeria. So right now we only have like a couple of nodes in Africa total. But Middle East, we're pretty strong in. Asia, we're pretty strong in. Australia representing. We got a couple of in New Zealand. Again, these are just nodes. These are not like all the miners, and these are not all the users. But it shows you like the resilience, because every one of these is a full copy of the Epic
Yeah, it is.
around the world.
It's
So
amazing.
so this is pretty cool. The other thing is we've been gradually growing our presence on Twitter, also known as X.
Yeah, send me a
And
link to that too, real quick, and I'll pop it up.
it's just x.com/epiccashtech. So x.com/epiccashtech.
Epic/tech or .tech?
No, it's x.com/epiccashtech.
Epic Tech? Oh, Epic Cat. Okay, sorry. Tech. Okay, let's bring that up and I'll share. Everybody, please go visit on X.
And the
Cash
thing that I want to share with folks is, a while back we had about 3,000 accounts there, and maybe just a few hundred of them were verified accounts. At this point, we have over 6,000 followers,
Awesome.
and of those followers, over a third of those are actually verified accounts. So this gives us pretty good reach. We're also, because we've been around since 2019 on Twitter, we are part of the community notes, So we participate actively in the community notes, which also elevates our visibility and elevates our profile. And again, I would, love to have everybody come and join us.
Yeah, please do. This is
Check out
awesome.
our content. We're growing stronger and stronger every day. We're adding at this point. We're adding probably about 100 new users a day.
So everyone, if you're watching this, can you please, if you aren't already, this is the little things that we can do. Just please go to Twitter or X and search for Epic Cash Tech, all one word, and then just subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell. I don't know, do they do that on Twitter like YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can actually, you can join.
But I know you have put an amazing amount of work into this over the years. I mean, this is all Gene here, everyone.
We do what we can. This is
Yeah.
community is the the supporting engine behind this. So again, we can put up a page, but to actually get people to come in and make us
That's
more
right.
visible, make us stronger, that's everybody who is watching this. That's all of our community.
Okay. Hey, Enrique, can you give us an update on getting our coins off of Vite? The 31st is coming up. Can we just talk about that? Because I don't
Sure.
ever want anybody out there afterwards coming back and bitching that we never told you. We've been telling people for 3 months on this.
Yep.
So let's
It's
tell
all,
them.
it's also we're just on X, by the way, and it's the top pinned message is the
Okay.
notification about that too.
Yeah, there's still 1.49 million coins on Vite. So most users have, under 10,000, but it's a large number of users. There are a few that have bigger amounts, but it's a lot of people still have coins there. So again, if you have people who you might have shared, who you have in your WhatsApps, in your Telegrams, in your emails, any social media, I encourage the community to think of anyone who who might have coins there and urge them. And, if they need some guidance, do that. But encourage them to get their coins before January 31st. We're just a couple of weeks away from that. If any coins are still left there, I think that a third-party solution would be the best option, but I can't guarantee that. So I don't know if,
we propose that to Vitex. We propose the community solution of like a joint custody over the remaining funds, to continue post January 31st, to be able for people to, get in and withdraw their remaining Epic. But, ideally, we really need people to engage and get on this. And, for people listening to this, if you got your friends into Epic, and maybe they bought some Epic and they just forgot about it, it's never been easier to withdraw Epic.
Right.
Get on Vitex, withdraw it to your mobile wallet, withdraw it to your desktop wallet. But again, you got to have your crypto under your lock and key, not under somebody else's lock and key.
Right.
We talked about that, thousands and thousands of times. We brought this up, not your keys, not your crypto, and on and on and on. We made a tremendous progress. I mean, we moved, millions, literally millions of Epics off of Vitex.
Crazy.
But we still have like 1.49 as.
But it was like at almost 6 when we began, right?
Yeah.
It was at 3.5 just over a month ago.
Yeah.
So progress has been made.
Yeah, we made a lot of progress.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry. So does anybody but the user, so in other words, is there any possibility that the owners of Vite, the platform, have control of those coins
No,
at a certain
it's
point?
not Vite, it's Vgate.
Vgate.
Yeah, that's the custody
Vgate.
entity. Vgate has control of Vite's Bitcoin and of Vite's Epic and of Vite's Beam and of Vite's couple other cryptos.
Yeah. But I think I saw that as a concern from some people in the community, like, oh, is somebody else going to have control over those 1.4 million if they don't get them off in the next 12 days? So, but just so that's great. So no, like, we don't have to worry about like a mass liquidation of
No,
Epic, which is
no. Hold
good
on.
news.
No. Izzy, this is exactly what we're concerned about.
Exactly.
This
Oh,
is
okay.
exactly what we're concerned about. The Vitex doesn't have control of this, but the custodial entity, by definition, they're the custodial entity. They literally have, a cold Epic wallet and a hot Epic wallet, filled with Epic. Okay. And this is the thing that, of that remaining Epic that's sitting there, that's distributed between all those accounts, and you can see this on Vite's ledger. You can actually see this literally on their blockchain, the number of accounts. We took the number of accounts, we were at like 4,700, I think, or something like that. We're down to 3,500 accounts with non-zero balances, but which sounds like we only moved 1,000 accounts. But what I would say is we moved the vast majority of whales. Like, in fact, I'm pretty sure like all the whales have moved off of this. So that's a huge thing. And then we also, a lot of these accounts have fraction of Epic. So if you look at it, accounts with meaningful amounts of Epic, like if you look at like say,
maybe just over 100.
Yeah. Once you get into like 100, we're talking about like a 3,000 Epic balance. Once you're looking at like 120, you're looking at like 2,000 Epic balance, and it drops off, So when you're looking at like page, I don't know, page 100, you're looking at accounts that have, less than an Epic kind of thing. A lot of these are. You remember Vine or whatever, like they were doing like that yield thing, and a lot of them are those accounts. So a lot of them are like really fractional, really fractional accounts. So there are a total of 178 pages of accounts. And okay, so I'm on like, let's say page 60, and there's like 70 Epics, in those accounts. So what we're talking about is the most important ones, like the first page, 20 accounts, top three of them are Vitex. Actually, top four of them are Vitex, okay? And number 20 is a 16K account, 16K Epics, okay? And then after that, it keeps dropping down and down and down. So again, the users have removed most of the big holding accounts, okay? But we still have a ton of people who have still very non-trivial amount of Epic, hanging in there. And what we're pushing VGate on is to do a joint custody trust with the community to assume joint control of the remaining crypto, so people are able to continue to withdraw this, okay? We don't have control over this, except we put some legal pressure on them. There are guys they're located in Singapore, but this is work in progress. And right now we gave them an offer suggestion, and then we're just waiting to hear from them.
And we, as a community,
that's a
the Epic Community
perfect answer,
Trust,
by the way.
Yeah, we have an Epic Community Trust attorney that
Who's involved in this?
for
Yeah,
this. So
absolutely, yes.
everybody know that this is, again, back to a lot of us, those of you who just kind of seagull into the Epic Cash community and you talk about everything that's wrong and why this, why not that. Man, we're working really hard on behalf of the entire community. We are going above and beyond as fellow community members to engage an attorney, to be able to be part of this. We're trying to do this nicely, right? To where, and believe me, I don't think the VGate people want this liability. Would you agree, Yoga?
They don't. They don't. They're just looking for
They're not
a
nefarious.
solution. They're looking for a solution that they can trust and that benefits them in terms of liability release. They don't want to be liable for this because, again, they are a Singaporean entity. So this is not some, this is.
So we're not concerned.
They're people to go
afraid.
after.
Yeah,
right.
we're not afraid, and we do have alternative paths of action that can be taken, and everybody's on the same page. But we're just trying to play nice and say, well, what's the exact structure of this that works for everybody? So that's where we're at with that. So
and just so people understand, the whole thing started not because of Epic. This was not an Epic, thing. This was not a Bitcoin, saying this is because ownership of Vite Labs, which runs Vitex, has changed, and they got into a little pissing contest between them and VGate. So it's the DEX versus the custodial, and they're essentially parting ways because they couldn't agree on things. And we and a bunch of other cryptos get caught in this. We're the child in a parental custody battle. Okay.
Amen. That's great. That's a great way. Hey, last thing, can you provide a little bit of a CoinStore update? Because I see a lot of posting in the Telegram group of people like, nobody cares. BS. Everybody cares. But with you were responding, Gene, to.
Well, CoinStore's been having issues where there's some real basic guidelines if you're running an exchange of what not to do with Epic, and we gave them those guidelines up front. Okay. Yeah. For example, you don't run the same instance of the same wallet on multiple systems. Okay, that just confuses the shit out of the, and that's computing 101. Okay, crypto 101 rather, not necessarily computing 101. Okay, and we had our devs engaged on this from the beginning. In fact, we had our top devs engaged on this from the beginning. So this is not something that, and the problem appeared to be is a language barrier. We would give them simple instructions, and their devs are not in the channel. So I'm assuming, or weren't in the channel at all in the beginning. So I'm assuming that they have like a translator or a manager who translates to the best of his ability, and it's like a broken telephone. Like there's a relay person, a non-technical relay person in the middle, okay?
Right.
And we just kind of went back and forth. And to me, this is part of the thing that first I get a little pissy, and I apologize, in my responses, because people came in like, well, you guys just don't care, and why don't you do a video on how to do this? Folks, exactly. If you cannot follow like short sentence, one sentence instructions, okay, and run that through a translator, so their technical people don't understand that, okay, doing a video for somebody with a language barrier on how to do this isn't going to do jack shit, okay? Yeah. So we kind of went with the most optimal, way to communicate this, and they're muddling through this right now. So right now, like we still have an open channel, they're still muddling through it, and Enrique, if you want to throw some more
sure.
updates on this.
And we've also suggested
there's some progress. Okay, it's just freaking slow, and I'm sorry for my frustration is showing, but it's not about a video. Okay, it's about just like, look, don't fucking, pardon my French, don't think, type this in, don't think, do this. Okay, don't improvise, don't F around. Okay, just follow these stupid simple instructions, and this is not rocket science. Okay, it took TradeOgre literally 2 weeks to integrate us from scratch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It took Vitex. We didn't ask Vitex way back to integrate us. They just added us. They didn't even contact us in the beginning. Okay. Wow. So it's not rocket science. It's just basic freaking instructions. By the way, we have a tremendously awesome and exhaustive how-to manual on our GitHub. Thanks to Black Tiger, and thanks to Sky, and thanks to Poolboy, and thanks to countless, devs, our dev gods, okay, over the years. We have a refined process of how to integrate us, and it's step by step. And if anybody is doing this, all they got to do is, oh, you know what? On this page, I got this error. Raise your hand, and we'll walk you through. But with CoinStore, we just haven't even been able to get to that level. Like they gave us a error message, we told them what it is, and then it's just nothing. And then they ask the same question later. So sorry, Enrique, go ahead.
Yeah. No, sure. Yeah. Like, for months, you've been trying to guide them, hold their hand through everything, through every little small detail, and they just have been incompetent, or like you said, there's a language barrier. We've also suggested another solution, which was a third-party solution through the Treasury to give up the seed phrases or to send them and just do one transaction and have us manually distribute it. That's another option that's still on the table. So we're still trying to work through this, and we will get a solution. But unfortunately, we depend on them to get the rest of the coins out. So it's something that we'll continue to work on, and we'll get them out. But or users will be able to do it.
And
but
believe
we'll
me,
find
I
a solution.
share everybody's frustration in this. We all do. Okay, this is not the saying that if people think like we enjoy doing this part of our
Right.
experience, it ain't it. This ain't it. Okay, like this is like burning hairs off your arm with a magnifying glass. Level of enjoyment. This is not something we do for fun. Okay.
And we're all doing the best we can. The bottom line.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Every single one of us is
Always.
a community member, and we are putting our own energy into this. So when people sweep in, pissed me off too, Gene, when I was looking in there, somebody sweeps in and starts making these false assertions that nobody cares. That's freaking mature. Okay, so enough of that. All right.
Yep.
So everybody, I have a hard stop because I'm going to be getting on a consultation for something. I'll share a little bit, but I want to invite everybody, please, to here's yet another side of my life. I am the co-host with Mike Adams on decentralized.tv, decentralized.tv. I really encourage people to go and just sign up because we have interviewed over the last year and a half over 70 people. And this is a show that is dedicated to building the infrastructure of human freedom, getting out from underneath the thumb of the man. We have interviewed lots of private crypto project leaders in here. As a matter of fact, where is it? You might recognize this guy. There's Yoga Dude, Gene, right there. Mike and I interviewed him. It's episode 26. Really encourage people to go back and watch that. But we have interviewed so many amazing guests. And so please do that. And part of my dedication to decentralized living is 5 years ago, I acquired an entity called a unincorporated nonprofit association, UNA. And let me go to I'm going to go to, if you go to my575e.com, here it is. This is my website. And this, I really encourage you, if you are crypto savvy and you are thinking that maybe one day crypto prices rise, and maybe you want to be able to off-ramp that, and maybe you want to understand what are some strategic tax advantages to keep more of what you earn, you might want to just go here and review this. And it's really, really simple and laid out. And when you hit let's go, you put in your name and email address, and then that'll give you access to a free 90-minute video with a gentleman who has forgotten more about these entities than I'll ever know. He's been at it for 34 years, have helped over 1,100 people acquire these. I'm one of them. I've had mine for 5 years and have benefited greatly. There's also a downloadable PDF guide that talks about the 32 positive attributes of operating an unincorporated nonprofit association with a CP 575E, E stands for exempt, designation from the Internal Revenue Service. I'm just suggesting lots of people who have been picking up what I put down, they acquired one, they have taken my counsel of getting their UNA connected with Kraken, and now they have an on-off ramp that has certain advantages. So that's all I'm going to say here. I'm just going to give you the breadcrumb there. Okay. So, gentlemen, we did it. Thank you very much for joining us. Izzy, I know it hasn't been easy for you because you're doing it from the road, and Gene, Enrique, just always love hanging out with you guys on here and updating everyone in the chat. Thank you. Really appreciate you. I hope you got something out of this. And please subscribe to this channel. Let other people know that this channel exists. Hit the notification bell, because I am not committing to an every Friday live stream like the olden days, but I will tell you when there's something to share, we'll get a group on and we'll share it. So that's why the notification bell is important. That's why it's important you to get into t.me/epic cash. Telegram is great. That whole community is great. The way that it's set up now is great. Get on in there and you'll be fully informed. So, gentlemen, anything to add before we say have a great weekend?
Check out our Twitter page.
Thanks so much for doing this again for us, Todd. Thanks so much for getting this all together
always.
and for everyone's input. Yeah, man, it's awesome. You guys, I love you.
All right,
Right back at you,
brother.
Right back at you.
Okay, guys. Yeah, go to Telegram and go to Epic
Cash Tech.
Tech.
Yep, Epic Cash Tech
And that
on
is
Telegram. That's our official
Telegram
page. Yep.
You got it. You got it. All right, man. Well, listen, everybody.